Hey, yo, Neil.
Hey, what's up?
I got you.
Got you.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Grammy. Free my brother.
Cha.
It's free to his
Yeah.
backwards.
Look.
All right, the dust has settled. Welcome to RSG. One mic, we getting into it. A lot of stuff is happening. You know, we want to sit and let the dust settle. So I'm here with my man, Carl Hampton. How you doing, Carl?
I'm doing well. How you doing, brother?
All right, yes, man, we doing well. We've been going back and forth in the group text. We've had a chance to marinate with the Super Bowl. Everybody's had their opinions. We just kind of let see stuff in. We got the Luka trade. Everything's happening. We got all kinds of stuff happening there. Got the world turning on its head. We just wanted the dust to settle. We want to let the stuff go down. We're not going to jump to anything. Now we've kind of seen a little bit. We'll have a chance to talk about it. So we're going to start with the Super Bowl. Fly Eagles fly. Probably the happiest person is my boss, who's from Philly, at my day job. I know he was happy. We haven't had a chance to break bread on that yet this year, but we had Gilly the kid out there running around. But them Eagles put the domination. They left no. It felt like if we have to do this in the spirit of Darnell. It felt like Crawford against Spence, didn't it? It had this big build up,
Yeah.
and then it was just punishment all the way through the game. Just this as we had a chance to step away from this and kind of look at it, what's been your overall thoughts of what you saw?
It's a disappointing game. I think a lot of people wanted it to be the Donnybrook and mano a mano, but like you said, it was a debacle, as I like to say. Just the KC was dominated. Their offensive line was just looked listless and couldn't block anybody. The defense wasn't that bad. I mean, they stopped at the bottom lines with the short fields and the way how the offense was impotent. The defense really had no chance, and so just a really sad game to watch, and really showed that Mahomes was really. I mean, he showed throughout the season he was not as good. I mean, he was just decent this year with a ton of picks and not as many touchdowns, but yeah, he looked like he's just regressing even more. And really, people talk about that. Really, the last couple Super Bowls, the defense has much part to it than the offense. You see that now, where really Chris Jones is probably the most dominant player on the team, not Mr. Mahomes. So, I see just disappointing game all around. Kelsey looked listless. No running game by the Chiefs at all. Just a bad game. Definitely not indicative of the score. Score is much closer than the game really was. So just not great. It was great to hang out with you and your lady, so that was good. Got me my day, but yeah, I've seen it maybe a bar or alone, something like that. Yeah, but it would have been. But yeah, it was a disappointing game, man. Really, end of I think of a dynasty and of an era with the Chiefs, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a good time. My boy Mo Red stopped in. Some of y'all
Good.
listeners and the other Mo to jump online with us to talk a little bit. And part of what I think happened, it's one of those dangers you get with someone like Patrick Mahomes. I see sometimes Golden State and some teams have done this where you rely too much on that and then you use that to leverage how you spend your money. Meaning they didn't put the assets in the right place. We all still know that these games are won on the line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
They benefited from Patrick Mahomes and benefited from a Hall of Fame defensive coordinator, but they spent money on that defensive side. Like they spent money on that with the idea, but I haven't seen them. I haven't felt like they spent the same money, like you said, strategically on the offensive side, and they decided they could get away with things, and you could do that because you think you got Patrick Mahomes, meaning you didn't always have to have a grade A offensive line because he could just figure it out, and it works for. And see, well, I'm not gonna fall in the fool's gold. It works for 98% of the teams you play, but the one you needed to work with. And Philadelphia Eagles was that bully on the block. Like
Mm-hmm.
their style probably would have worked enough for them to beat. If they'd have played San Francisco, they would have got them with the banana in the tailpipe. If they would have found, they might even would have fooled Detroit, because they were in the first time there. But these bullies on the block, they came in like, we not having it. First of all, we let you off the hook 2 years ago. We not doing it again. Like they came in like we coming to get ours. And against a team like that, you got to have, as they say, you got to have some Rough Riders, and they didn't have it. And you got reminded that this game is still won. And you and I have talked a lot about this. As much as people talk about this stuff, this game is still won at the line of scrimmage. You
Yeah.
win from the inside out. I've often said my criticism of my Pittsburgh Steelers is when you hear the people who are farthest away from the line of scrimmage talking the most, you in trouble.
You're in deep trouble. Yeah.
Well, when you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, yeah, you got Brown out there, but them Rough Riders are up front. Like they are led by them, that offensive line and that defensive line. Those are the guys. Brown is a great guy, but he over there reading books. He ain't talking too much.
Yeah.
He reading books. Right. That's what you do when you got an offensive line like they got and a defensive line like they got. You read books, right?
Yeah.
You don't. You talk under your breath, right?
Yeah.
And so, and what I don't want to get caught up in, everybody's like, well, the GOAT status and stop having that conversation. First of all, this cat's been to what? 5 Super Bowls, lost 2. And we got to be clear. I'm a Brady. Hey, Brady went to Michigan. But in those first 3 or 4 Super Bowls, Brady was the best supporting actor. Mahomes has been the leading actor in all 5 of these Super Bowls. Brady was the best supporting actor and kind of became the leading actor. He like that star Hammer, that he might get his Academy Award for the best supporting actor. He finally get the leading role coming off of that, right? That was Brady. Mahomes came in there like Leonardo. He got it from the jump, and he been winning from the jump. And so I think we got to curve, like, what does this put him back? I still think he's a great player. They just got to be much more responsible about the kind of team they build, and they're getting older. They got to turn over, but he's still good enough to do something with this core group. They just got to do some stuff up front. So that's kind of my opinion. I don't know about yours.
No, I think as far as the GOAT conversation, I'd never put him in the GOAT conversation because Brady beat him head-to-head twice. He beat him head-to-head when he was with the Patriots in his prime, and then he beat him head-to-head with Tampa Bay. So I don't think it's even discussion. The three-peat would have been great, as far as it goes. But if you look at the overall record, I still think Mahomes is so, number 2, second in he's not the GOAT. So
but I kind of treat that
he's
like
number
when
2. Like I think
Mayweather.
I think LeBron is the Mike. I think that's what he's going to be to Brady.
It could be, but
always number 2.
But I kind of treat that like when Canelo brought Mayweather. He was just too young to fight Mayweather, right? It wasn't that he wasn't great. He just caught him early. He still was learning, but Canelo could end up as one of the greatest fighters of all time. I just felt like he caught Mayweather too early. He's still learning, but he came out of that fight a much better fighter because he fought Mayweather. And I think the one I will give you is the second one against Tampa Bay. That one hurt, but that one had as much to do with the defense as well as it had to do with Brady.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, Brady was on his Brady thing. So, but you got some differences there. When you think about Nick Sirianni, boy, everybody talk about from the press conference, but this cat just has his style. Whatever you call it, it works. But I always feel like he just a step away from them trying to put him back on the firing line again. But he got this team ready. Sirianni, where do you put him? Does he move into a new category after this?
He moves into a category where he's very good. I don't think he'll ever be great. I think that there's been too much turmoil in his tenure with the Eagles, where last year, they were reeling, and then early this year they were reeling. 2-2 with that much talent. You switch coordinators again. One of your coordinators now a head coach. Other coordinator is one of the best, probably the best DC in the world. So yeah, so I just think that people look at the talent. Everyone says they should have won the Super Bowl, which is true. And I think but for Sirianni, that's why they were dogs. I don't think people respect him as a coach. So yeah, he's gone up to very good now instead of good, and I think that he needs to try to win another one. He's still 4 years.
But Hammer, let's be fair to him. He's been to 2 Super Bowls, 3 years?
Yeah, look at the talent D. Wills.
But a lot of people have talent and not winning.
bro. But you look at
Your
this
boy in
team.
Buffalo
This
had
team
some
should have
talent.
been.
He
This
wouldn't
team was
win.
reeling last year. I mean, I give him credit in the sense
I
that
love Hardball.
Sirianni was able.
Hardball got talent. They ain't
Sirianni
winning.
was able to turn around his locker room. Clearly, he had the locker room because he was losing the locker room. Jalen Hurts was openly attacking him, and now you look at the fact the locker room after week 5, the week 5 bye, the locker room was all in, and so therefore. That's the most important. They were all in,
But he
and
has to have something to do with it. This stuff
he
doesn't
does. I'm
happen
saying,
without
but
a
I'm
really
saying
good head coach.
but you're not listening
Like
to me,
a
D-Wills.
really good head coach.
I'm saying he's very good. He's not elite. That's
No,
what I'm
you have
saying.
to be very to make
No,
this kind of
he's
run. You got to be a
very
really
good.
good
He's
head
not
coach
elite.
to lead.
He's
You
not
can't be
elite.
very good
He's not elite.
to
He's
win a
not
Super
taking.
Bowl. You got to be a pretty. You got to have your
I mean,
act
you look at
together.
this. You look at this Kansas City team. The last 2 ones, they could have been beaten. I mean, they weren't. They weren't. This team. You look at.
But I'm
They're
saying to be
stacked.
a Super Bowl
The
coach, you got to
line.
be a
The
good coach.
line is. Look at the D line is stacked. The line is stacked. They got 2 cornerbacks. Don't tell me he's got the best, most talent in the NFL. No question. He should have won. So it's
But you
not.
still got to make it work.
He made it work. My point is,
That's
D.
what I'm
Wills.
saying.
My point is that he's not elite because again, there shouldn't have been even a question. This team
How is
should
he
win
not elite? He
because there
look.
shouldn't have been a question, and the reason why there was a
Hold
question is
it,
for
hold
him.
it. Look at your boy out in San Francisco. Look how much talent he had. He hadn't even done what Sirianni
He's
done.
again.
And
He's
everybody
suspect
calls him
now.
elite.
He's
They
suspect
call
now.
him elite and he ain't even
He's
won.
suspect now. So let's talk about Mr. Sirianni. I'm talking about the fact
But
that
they call him
any
elite.
other coach, D. Wills, any other coach, they would have been favored, right? Let's be any other coach, they would have been favored, right? Any other coach, they would have
No,
been 2
not
and
against
2
Kansas City.
starting
They
the
love
year.
Kansas City so much, man.
There's
They
no way
give
that
Kansas
team
City
should
it's
be
a
2 and
mirage.
2 starting the year. That team is a juggernaut with the D ends, the D tackles, the linebacker. Zach Bond is the best damn defensive player
But
in
they
the league.
converted. They made it work.
Yeah, Vic made it work. My point is
But I'm
is
saying
that
it's a collect. Part of leadership is not you doing it. Part of leadership is you got everybody going in the right direction. That's
he
leadership.
had people in the right direction. I give him credit after week 5, but the fact how he started the season very slowly was a concern. And he was on the firing line. He was on the chopping
But
block.
a
You know
lot of
that. He
people
was in the
start
hot seat. You
slow.
know that. He was in
Like
the
he
hot
ain't
seat.
the
You know that.
first.
He was in the hot seat. You know that. If they had come out, they won with it. Was it 16 or last 17? Something like that. So the bottom line is that if they had not come out the way they did, man, he would be in trouble right now. So my point is that nobody would question them but for Sirianni because of he's always gonna have to prove himself because of that opening press conference where he looked like a buffoon. So yeah, I said he's very good. I didn't say he was average or good. I say he's very good. He's got what Barry Switzer did with the Cowboys after Jimmy. Anybody
No,
counts
because
would
Barry
say one
Switzer
of
didn't do it over multiple years. Barry did it and then went and chilled.
Yeah, well, again, that's what I'm saying. We need to see.
Sirianni done it over multiple
This is
years
a team.
on the
D-Wills,
rest.
this is a team that should be a dynasty, correct? This team should be.
I
They have
can use
all the pieces to be a
ChatGPT to
dynasty.
answer that.
They have the
You
star. They have the star quarterback. They got the star running back. They got all levels talent from big play Slade. So the bottom line is that this is a team that should be now obviously they're gonna have to get a new OC, but the bottom line is that this team has the foundation to be a dynastic type team, and so we'll see. It'll be but for Nick Sirianni, they won't be a dynasty. Let's keep real. But for Nick Sirianni, yeah, they got Hurts.
Man,
They got the best
you
line,
done
probably the best
activated
line ever.
GTP over my side. And I didn't
Yeah.
even know I had it on my new computer. You got Chat GTP talking back to us. I didn't even know I had it on my computer.
Okay. You
No,
got a new computer.
I'm like, what is
Okay.
that? I got a new setup over here. Well,
Okay.
we'll keep figuring out where this is going. We're gonna monitor. I'm just saying. I'm leaning a little bit more into Coach Nick. I'm leaning a little bit more into him.
I think he's very good.
I got to figure out where
There's a reason why he's not the favorite next year for a reason. I think that they don't trust him. I think they don't trust him. That's the bottom line. He's got to prove people wrong, and I think eventually he will. Yeah.
Now my Steelers have been obviously trying to figure out this quarterback situation. We just hearing today possibly the Steelers might be approaching Jacksonville about Trevor Lawrence. We've been going back and forth in the text group about whether or not this is a good move. What move should they be doing? I actually like the move. I
like because they have Arthur Smith. They have somebody.
Yeah.
Arthur Smith was able to get a reclamation project with Rand Tannehill, and I think that. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence was supposed to be a generational talent. He hasn't turned out that way.
Yep.
And so I think the right person, Arthur Smith, can do that. I kind of wonder about the contract, but It is something. I mean, again, I think Tomlin is. It's not like Tomlin's going to be on a 5-year
No.
building spree or something like that. So I think the main thing about Tomlin needs to win right now. And so I think with Arthur Smith, and I think that some of those weapons they have, and in fact, Russell looked good last year, not great. I think that Trevor could be great with the right surroundings, the right coaching. And so I think it's a good move, and it's worth the first and second rounder. And yeah, I think because they're talking about Aaron Rodgers possibly there, which I wouldn't like. But I guess they have Rodgers and Tomlin have an affinity for each other, which is interesting. But I think that's a good thing, a good trade. I think that happened. I think that makes sense for the Steelers, and I think Trevor doesn't need to change the scenery. And also, I think Liam Cohen wants to have his own guy. I mean, wants to have his own guy. He builds up from the beginning, not inheriting somebody that he might have doubts about. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and with the Steelers, I mean, they had a really good 2024 draft, particularly on their offensive line. They had some injuries, but they got some guys that they brought in who are, future All-Pro type guys on the offensive line that they have. That's going to be good. And then they got some young talent they got on defense, they're in a position where they could have some interesting things happen as well when you start to think about what that class looks like and stuff like that. So I think that they got the young our receiver from Michigan. So they got some folks who they could add those pieces in. I think they'll probably make a move for a receiver in free agency to get the upside of Pickens as well. And then they got to get Freiermuth more involved in the passing game. I think that'll happen this second year with this offense that they'll build in. And I do think and I think you can find that in this draft. They need to continue to add to the running back space in that room and get them someone who can be a home run hitter. They got some really good running backs.
Najee's a free agent, right? Najee's a free agent, right?
Yeah,
Najee's a free agent, right?
Najee's free agent. They didn't
He was
sign
his
him.
fifth
They
year
let
extension,
him
which
play
is
it
smart.
out. Right. So
initially I was surprised by that. I wasn't because he's beat up.
he wasn't hitting the hole hard, man. When
No, he wasn't. No, he's
Porter
been beat
started
up too
playing,
much.
he started running hard. But I just didn't like. I don't. Sometimes he started running a little harder this year. But they need somebody who's got the ability to take it to the house, and they need to add that threat into the running game. And
They
so
have
I
the
think
wrong GM though too. I don't trust his GM, so that's another thing. So I don't trust him.
I mean, it's been a referendum. I mean, one of the things I said is
that's a bad pick. Not here. The fact he was not extended to fifth year, that's a bad pick. That's a failed pick right there. I mean, you're supposed to have a running back for 5 years or more. Yeah.
Well, part
of franchise, 6 years really.
Yeah, and part of the challenge with that is they took so long to figure out how they're going to address the offensive line, and again, Pittsburgh has leaned on the fact that they think Tomlin can turn a JV team into a varsity team, and so he gets all this criticism about not winning playoff games. First of all, Ben should have retired 2 years earlier.
Yeah.
Then they try to win with a JV squad as a varsity squad, with some players, but not fully. It took them forever to replace Poundsy. They just now got Poundsy's replacement.
Yeah.
It's like
what's on GM? Omar Khan is a disappointment. He's a disappointing GM. That's why I don't. I kind of wonder where this Trevor Lawrence is coming from because it doesn't seem like him. It seems like there's something coming from higher up because I don't trust Omar Khan. He doesn't seem to be that imaginative as far as doing a deal like that. You look at Kenny Pickett. That was a blasé pick. That was a bad pick.
Yeah, because part of it is because they know they owe Tomlin because of the way that they had to negotiate Ben's ending. And so they know Tomlin carried that one out and he took the heat. He's paid for it. And so you see how aggressive they are trying to find him a quarterback. Because you remember he said last year, we can't be the worst in that position in the division. So he put it out there.
Russell was a good bridge. I mean, he was a good bridge. Justin too, but Trevor could be transcendent with the right coaching. I mean, he's obviously
25 years old. That's right.
Yeah, 25 years old. He's supposed to have the pedigree and the whole nine. He got the physical skills. He runs great. He's been hurt a lot too, but he's behind that damn offensive line. But I think the thing is that I think it'd be a good thing. We'll see. I mean, one of my guys from one of my Pittsburgh fans, brother from ATL is like, they ain't gonna do it. I'm like, bro, they wouldn't be leaking it if they were gonna do it. That's
No,
something you
they know,
yeah,
and
that's something you
Tomlin
don't go to
probably
pressers
said.
about.
I mean,
Yeah.
Tomlin could walk out tomorrow and have a job, and so Tomlin's probably let him know we gotta get this
He's
fixed.
not going nowhere though. Rooney's he's not going nowhere. He got the best job in football. They're gonna leave him
He
alone.
does.
As long as they leave him, as long as he wins and gets the playoffs, leave him alone because their culture is they don't like to change coaches. Like they don't like to change coaches. So he